Okay, well, no audio has come through for any of the other portions. I should have checked. Crap. Okay. So let's quickly go through and do a recap, and then now that all this is coming back through, because I can't go through and okay, so download directory, that was what we first started with for the Eli. So that was, God, that's a pain in the posterior. Okay, so that was the Chromebook extract, decrypted, mount, user, and then there's a downloads folder here, which is, once that opens up, then obviously we have the 6 files, and that's how we ended up pulling that answer. Then we used MD5 sum, which if you watch the first portion, or the beginning of the video, go through, and that would have been underneath Chromebook directory, decrypted mount user, accounts, account or avatar images, and then the file that is inside of there. So you use MD5 sum on that, and that gives you the answer there. Road trip. Was going through and taking a look at the takeout data underneath. So take out my activity maps, and then there is a myactivity.html you can open up, where it basically denotes the attempt to go from Burlington, Vermont to Plattsboro in order to go hit a Chick-fil-A. And then inside that downloads directory, there was a PDF for the Wicker Promises. And if you count the verified items there were 9. That gives you the answer there. Then inside the extensions directory, so you go up 1 level, that would be parallel with the downloads directory. There's an extensions, did grep space dash R and W space single quote period single quote space dash E space single quote, and then basically tabby cat using a capital T and a capital C is outlined. And I just realized I still have Remnox up. Oops. This is just cluster. And I can't go through and have them reset. At least I don't think I can. But, so you guys just didn't have to hear me for the first part. I'll have to put a portion on there. And then there is, so let's see. That it gives us everything there. And then we're looking for the amount of music. Again, this was played out just without any sort of vocal. Input back to the Chromebook decrypted mount user. There is a my files, and then a music, and then gives us the 2 particular items, which gives us the number 2 for that. Then inside of that same director, inside of Chromebook decrypted mount user, there is a web data SQLite database that if you use the browser, not web browser, but the SQL or SQLite browser or DB browser, will allow you to go through, take a look at the data, which is all that stuff that was, again, previously shown. Kind of work way through quick. So here's this. Browse data, make sure it's in the autofill, and then we have 2 items for email, 1 for guests. So tried email first, and that took it considering the fact that the values were entirely different. And then of course it takes us to number 8, which is dress for success. So that was going back to the downloads, finding that tux picture, bringing up the properties, and taking the byte value inside of the properties, which gave us the 46,791. And then repeat customers was going through and let's see. That one was. Didn't bring up Rednox. Okay, that one, in order to pull out the answer, involved the takeout data. So we do takeout and my activity and Chrome, and we open that one up. Effectively from there, this again, if you observed and watched the first portion for this, basically just go through, taking a look, and it looked like there was more protonmail.com than anything else. Tried that, and yes, that worked. And then started to go through back to the extensions directory and dig through those until mention of some sort of theme. So, because it's vroom vroom, what is the name of the car related theme? And so that took us back to Chromebook, decrypted, mount, user, extensions, and digging through all these until basically hitting this particular one here where cached theme.pack, and then there were images. Obviously it's okay, it's a car, vroom vroom. And then obviously opening up the manifest.json in order to grab the name, so Lamborghini Cherry, and submitting that. And that is the quick and dirty as to how we got here. The takeout portion for all this gives us a mbox file. And I was originally going to go and just try to open it up inside of Thunderbird, but there's apparently an mbox viewer application that you can get from GitHub. So pop that through because I don't really care as to whether or not if it sends the contents of all this stuff back. It's not my data, as it were. And that is effectively where we get it. So I've opened up the mbox file inside this mbox view application. I have sorted by from in order to go through and find all for notification at service.tiktok.com. Yeah. And that looks like it's what, 246. And again, it's looking for a single portion. So let me get that out of the way. And we'll submit there, and hooray! So we're in the final stretch, as it were, almost. Okay, then we move on for hungry for directions. So if I had to take a wild guess with this, I'm going to assume that is going to be back in the takeout data and probably maps, because it doesn't look like they're actually using Waze. Although now that effectively Google owns Waze, it wouldn't surprise me as to whether or not if everything just kind of comes together. So maps. Maybe? Wait, no. There's a What's the other one? My activity. That's it. Is there maps? Yes, there's maps here, so we can actually see as to what they were trying to do. And then we're looking for March 4th, 2021. Does it actually spell out? 4:09:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. So they were looking for Chick-fil-A, which we kind of figured out from previous. So let us go ahead and switch back. Sorry for the quick catch up. I did not. I'm going to have to sit there and just specify from here on in. I don't even know as to whether or not if this got anything. Any of the audio. I'm guessing probably not. But okay, well, we're already so far in. No sense trying to go back. Who defines essentials? What was searched on March 4th? So if I, again, had to take a guess, I'm going to assume it's going to be takeout data again, because I think that there's a search section. So if we just remove that, we had maps, there is search, and there is a my activity. And then we are specifically looking for, again, March 4th, 4:09. Close. 4:10, 4:09, and they specifically call out 4:09 and 35 seconds. That was actually 4:15:18 for Chick-fil-A. 4:09:35. 4:09:35 is traveling to get chicken. Essential travel. Had you asked me before moving to Illinois, I would have said no, not really. But now that I'm actually in fairly close proximity to Chick-fil-A's and having had them, yes. I mean, I've had chicken sandwiches for everybody, I think. I've done Cane's, I've done, oh, McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes. And I honestly think Chick-fil-A's is probably the best. You get the deluxe with the spicy. But again, preferences. Everybody's got them. Okay. I got 3 subscribers and counting. How many YouTube channels is the user subscribed to? Okay, gonna take another wild stab and assume that's going to be yet another my activity portion. So YouTube, my activity. What can you tell me? Watched, watched, visited, watched. Okay, so that doesn't qualify as activity. Well, then there's still the other action as well. YouTube and YouTube Music. Subscriptions. And we got another JSON file. There's nothing there. So I'm going to assume that the answer is, well, it's a single digit. So 0. Nice. Well, we'll be done probably just a little bit over an hour on this one. Okay, time flies when you're watching YouTube. What date was the first video the user watched uploaded? Well, cheeky breeky. Is that going to probably be I don't know, because we immediately dumped into subscriptions. Let's see what else we have. Again, bringing up Rennox, switching back over. Let's go up one. History. We got search and we have watch. Ooh, yeah, watch history. That seems like that's going to kind of fit. What was the first video? This is when it happened, right? So Feb. So if we click on this, yeah, 39 seconds as opposed to 48. So if we can resolve to YouTube, then we should be able to tell when this was actually uploaded, right? So it looks like Jan 27th, 2021. Yeah, I don't really care, so silence. Okay, yeah, it looks like that's it. And they want in the structure of day, month, year, year. So 27-01- 2021 by that point, 2021. Hooray, last one. How much? What is the price of the belt? Who wants Daddy's belt? I don't remember seeing anything like search terms. Um, there was a oh cripe. Wait, this is takeout, right? Yeah, this was all takeout data. I have. I don't remember seeing anything else there, but give me 1 second. Okay, so the drive takeout had a Excel document and a Word document. And at this particular point, do I really care as to whether or not if this gets a little bit dirty because we're in the final stretch? Not overly. Okay, so I'll sit there and switch this over. And so there is the Word document. Not seeing a belt there. But if we take a closer look, oh, that automatically just brought it back up. Okay, because I closed the other one. Oh yeah, because it's just looking for our LibreOffice. So the closest thing was the Calc thing. There is a pebbled leather belt from Vineyard Vines. And the whole question is the belt. Or how much is the belt? Which is 2 digits, or assuming 2 digits, period, 1 digit. And that's exactly as to how it's laid out here. So it looks like 98.5. And yes, I did end up having to go through and start digging through a bunch of stuff in order to get some sort of idea as to where to actually find this. So it was not the easiest thing to go through and do. So let's take this out. And 98.5 as a test. Nice. Very nice. I'm going to give it high marks, and I'm going to mark it difficult just because of the fact of this is not something I go through and do all that often, especially on Chromebooks, although it is nice to know that, okay, I've gone through, I've done the needful, and as long as there's the takeout package, it makes it that much easier. But so that is always, always good. Okay, and then to basically close it off, so I did again the same grep, this time in the takeout folder. It didn't point to the Google Drive for, I should just say the Drive folder inside of takeout, but we did end up getting the search hits, everything else like that to confirm. And I just kind of started just kind of browsing through everything, and then obviously I trying to find or outputted it to a belt.txt to go through and take a look at just in case it ended up going over, which is just all this stuff here, same thing that was in the command window, and then basically going through trying to find any sort of hit to the actual link that was included for that particular aspect. Didn't have a whole heck of a lot of luck, but I figured that especially when you try to bring it up now, it's out of stock and doesn't list a price. So just went through looking for any sort of file that may potentially have the stuff in there, much less when it said to purchase .xlsx. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's try that. And it just kind of worked out. It would be nice if this was actually here, but not so much. But yeah, so there we go. Hopefully, I don't know, enjoyed, didn't care for, whatever. A mostly silent beginning. Um, but I did end up catching on to go through and change that. I will probably have to see about changing the default input audio device. See if I can't force it to go with the wireless headphones. Yes, I know that there's a wire sitting right here, but that's to power it or charge it. I don't trust the batteries to last all that long, especially considering the fact that this has now gone over an hour, which is typical with CyberDefender exercises. So, but there we go. That is the Eli CyberDefenders exercise with 16/17 questions, depending as to how you want to count. All done and out of the way. Although we didn't really end up having to use Decode or CyberChef or anything else like that. I just had to sit there and kind of hunt through. I mean, really the biggest tool was, okay, the DB browser for SQLite and grep. I mean, and web browser. And then obviously taking that Mbox file and opening it up in the Mbox viewer, but that was inside of Windows. So I don't know. I would love to see as to what they ended up doing to go through and use all these to go through and do this. But kind of makes me wonder as to whether or not if I missed something or if there was another way to get the answers, which I'm sure there probably is. I mean, it's a tool for just about any sort of situation. Sometimes there are multiple tools, I'm sure. But so there we go. That is the 16/17 questions answered for Eli. And with all that said and done, I will see everybody in the next video, which will probably be another CyberDefenders one because there's just more and more and more being outputted. Yeah, I'm just so far behind right now. Although I have everything done in Let's Defend, but still. And I really want to do this one, GurCon. That's the first ever security conference I went to, and it's got a special place in my heart. Mostly because the guy that told me about it and said I should go, we had planned on going. He was one of the instructors for, I don't think it was my master's. I think it was for my bachelor's. He was an instructor at the time for the capstone. Um, and unfortunately, he had something medical just came out of the blue, and just like that, he was gone. So, anything Gurkhan's kind of near and dear to my heart just because of that, because he's a good dude. And gone well before his time, but that's neither here nor there. But so, all that being said, and a little bit of waffling here and there, much less a lot of silence. Again, I apologize for that in the beginning, but I will see everybody in the next video. Hopefully making sure and doing enough checks before the next video that the audio is actually working.